morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you, of course, by none other than Because Bitcoin. It is Friday, guys. I know I said yesterday it felt like the week was going by quickly, but man, oh man, it is already Friday. It is almost the weekend. I hope everybody has had a phenomenal week. And a great morning wherever you or afternoon, depending on wherever you're joining us from, guys. A reminder, I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy, joined by Max Tucker and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome, guys. And now, real quickly, before we start cooking, before we start sharing that propaganda, that bullish propaganda, that bearish propaganda, there might be a little bit of both on this show, apparently. But before we get sharing it, guys, we always appreciate when you guys smash that like button. And it's a Friday, so I'm fully expecting you guys to smash the like button. We'll definitely bug you again, but it always means a lot when you guys engage and, of course, enjoy our content. But man, oh man, I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room for the second day in a row, right? Bitcoin is pumping. We're above 47K. I think we almost tagged 48K. We have now completely enveloped the price action from the week following the ETF launch. And now we are contending with new highs right now, right? I mean, we're consolidating right around the previous highs of the ETF, of the official ETF launch from about, I think it was it like 3 or 4 weeks ago now at this point? That's kind of hard to believe. But yeah, we are now 1 month later grappling with those highs, trying to break out, trying to form higher highs on the year. It's been an interesting battle in the order books over the last few days. I will definitely say that. And there has definitely been a spot bidder that has stepped up to the call. And yeah, I mean, look, we're at 48K. It's probably going to lead to some pretty excessive altcoin speculation in the not so distant future whenever Bitcoin does decide to cool off, whether that be here, whether that be at 50K, or whether that be at something crazy like 60 or 70K, right? I mean, whenever it kind of cools off, you're going to see altcoins start to really rally very aggressively. I'm sure we'll talk about Dimension as well. I see that Tucker's got some propaganda on the screen, but I'll let him explain that to you guys. In equity land, nothing too much is happening. It's the week before OPEX week. You typically see some of the biggest increases during those weeks, and this week has not really been an exception to that. I don't think that we've had any dips at all this week in equities. We haven't made up that much ground at the upside, but we have not had any dips at all. I know that for a certainty, at least on the indexes, maybe on some individuals where there was, searching for liquidity, but nothing from indices that would indicate any weakness yet. But welcome, guys. Bitcoin's above 48K. It's pumping. Altcoins are probably about to catch a really nice rotation whenever Bitcoin cools off. What are you guys seeing in the markets? And I'm sure we're excited, right? I mean, who wouldn't be? But what are you guys seeing in the markets this morning?
Whoa, Tommy, 48. I didn't, I was like, I had to check real quick. I was like, no, it's 47. It's 47. But
Tommy's internal clock is like 2 hours ahead. So in his mind, it's already at 48. He knows. Yeah. Tommy knows.
Yeah. I mean,
Tucker, easy on this chart, bro. Easy.
I can't unsee it, man. Franco brought it to my attention. We called this thing on Alt Layer to a T, or on Manta to a T. It played the XAI fractal. Alt Layer did the same thing.
Tucker. I'm about to cook you for this, man.
No,
all right,
you're
keep
not.
Going. Yeah, I'm about to flame on you, but keep going.
But I remember the last time that you said that, and you were talking about the Bollinger Bands, and you said it was bearish. Is that accurate?
Let's pull up the receipts, bro. Let's pull up the receipt.
Does anyone remember that?
Here, let me pull up the receipt. Let me pull up the official public statement. All right. The official public statement is right here, bro. I'm gonna steal it right now because we need to settle this once and for all. All right.
Yes, I remember
the old Twitter. All right. Can we see my Twitter right here? In my opinion, if bears can't send Bitcoin below 38K in the next week, we're going a lot higher.
Well, I see that you were not sensing an imminent pump, bro.
It wasn't an imminent pump. This was posted on January 25th.
I remember a heated debate on Market Check about whether the Bollinger Band squeezing was bearish or not.
Precisely what I suggested is happening.
I know the audience remembers it differently. It's okay. It's okay. We're moving on.
Oh, man.
We're moving forward. But this, man, I don't know. Look. It's easy though. It's easy. Like you don't double top. This is invalid. You hold the golden pocket. Invalid, right? You don't get this bearish retest, which is, I mean, literally perfect on these two, right? Literally, alt layer didn't really give it, but there's a lot of easy invalidations on this thing. I'm not telling like you if you wanted to be short, like do it from up here before you break down. But where would it go? Like I've been saying in the Discord, I think 630, anywhere in this area is a good spot. I was just saying that because there was a 1 hour FVG and some highs here. I didn't realize that kind of that second high on most of these charts ended up being like pretty much the bottom of these sell-offs. Not alt layer again was a little different. But yeah, that's kind of the area I'd look for if you lose like $7. What are we talking about? A 70-cent move down? Like my whole bag staked, guys. I don't care. I do not care. I'm bullish, right? I'm not worried about a 12%. I mean, here's the reality of the situation. Hang on. Here's the reality. Even if you did this, that's a 12% stop loss. Hang on, let's just make it big. Here's the reality of the situation, guys. That's still a 15R banger, okay? Still a 15R banger. So let's just put that in perspective. But that doesn't mean short term we can't be a little bit bearish. But I mean, here's the thing too, and I said this in the Discord today. Bitcoin was like bear chopping the whole time that we were seeing, right? This.
Yes.
And this, right? Now Bitcoin is above 47K. Like obviously this thing has already run, where is it? This thing's already run like what, 70%? A little cool down to the golden pocket. It's fine with me. I'll allow it. Okay. I will allow it. But different time, right? I could definitely see us cool down, golden pocket, Bitcoin goes sideways for a little bit, altcoins do that, right? End of story. So easy kind of trade and validations there, but those are initial thoughts on Dime or DIM.
Tucker, I actually do agree with you. I thought you were going to paint a much more bearish picture. Where I was going to rebuttal you on this bearish propaganda was the king was in a much different position at this point in time for these other alts. Bitcoin was not looking super great. So these fresh altcoin charts got hammered. I think that was looking amazing. The position that Bitcoin is in wouldn't really align with Dimension retracing this entire move and going back to like $4 or something like that. It really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, especially given where Total 2 is as well. And actually, I might just have to. I might just have to
feel it coming, Max. I could feel it coming.
What can you feel coming?
Oh, I thought you were gonna Tommy it.
Oh, I am gonna Tommy it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna Tommy it. That's what but I'll give it right back. I will give it right back.
Bitcoin at 47K. It's interesting.
So
I thought it was
one thing that we need to. I mean, this is obvious. I posted this last night in our Discord. I said this is a problematic little inefficiency on the lower time frame. We'll come back in here and do this. Like we'll be down here. We'll do this. We'll chop, and then everybody's gonna jeet their bags right here. And the reality they're saying right now, oh, trend line breakdown. And it's gonna curl back around. It's coming back to fill in this little inefficiency. But where I think the context here is key, and I just tweeted this out, is that Total 2 is getting ready to absolutely melt up. You have ETH looking strong. You have Bitcoin looking really strong. I mean, again, this is different, right? Like if you go back and you look at all the charts that you just had, Tucker, like the context is key. This is super, super high time frame. But when all of those fresh charts were, oh, what is this? Oh my, what is this chart here? I don't remember putting this up here. Oh my,
you could have foreseen.
Just have Sol going to 1,000. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I didn't mean for you guys to see that. That's That's embarrassing, but I guess it's here. During that time, we had kind of like the altcoin leaders. Oh, wow, look at this fractal. Who could have foreseen? We had a lot of bearish chop, and you already mentioned that, Tucker. So it's like, I just don't think you're going to get that crazy like Manta drop, XAI drop, that they had a couple weeks ago, because Bitcoin is just casually sitting at 47.2. Let's take a look at this here on the weekly time frame. I mean, how can we really expect weakness anywhere when you have a chart that looks like this? I just don't think you're going to get it. I just simply do not think you're going to get it. Look at this.
Well, Max, even if you fill the inefficiency on dimension, that is the Manta move, right? And that would even be like, let's see here, that would be a 25% pullback. Like,
let's put you back up here. Can you
look at that? So from high to low, 25%. I put some green arrows where the boys should bid. Boom, boom, boom. FVG. Here's the highs. Same thing on all layer on all the other ones, right? So these are kind of your levels, in my opinion. That would be a 25% pullback. That's totally fine. This chart came out like 3 days ago. Like, who cares?
And I'd actually kind of like that, because then we can start doing some fib extrapolation. We need a nice, a pronounced high and swing low to draw some fibs from. So
I think we got it. I already did.
The question is, where do you draw the bottom of it then? We need the bottom.
I just drew it from back here.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. I like
3618, $18.
I just don't know if you're going to get much better than like 640, truthfully.
Yeah. See, on the 1 hour, there's an FVG at 630. I like that a little bit, because there's one here at 670, but I could see like a wick into here, and then just, like if we're going to do this and maybe bounce and then come back and then do wick, boom, boom, boom. See you later.
Yeah.
Some nastiness like that. I mean, fresh chart, fresh chart.
I mean, dude, a 25% pullback on a fresh chart is like pullback for ants,
Yeah. That's literally nothing. Yeah.
All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had to create some propaganda on Twitter real quick. Yeah. So can we talk about the Bitcoin, discussion here? The elephant in the room that nobody wants to look at, but squeezing us against the wall.
Of course, Will. Of course we can. With pleasure.
What happened to mid to low 30s? Twitter is very silent right now.
Oh, man.
Twitter is very silent. So I remember talking about this. We were sitting there and we were just breaching, the Cheeto in the door. And I was like, that Cheeto is as hard as a rock. The door's not opening. And, and I said we were going to fill the wick. Where are we at? Yeesh. I'd say we're pretty close to filling that wick, huh?
And that's the big question is, I mean, when Bitcoin goes on to make a new local high here, that's probably when alts start to get sent across the board. Then there's a lot of air above us. And actually, fun fact, the last completely unmitigated weekly FVG, I think probably is the target for this move, which is just front running the all-time high. It's at like 60 or 61. The last on the entire chart, the last completely nope. They dipped into that one a little bit, the one above that.
Yeah, but okay. Oh, completely unmitigated.
Completely 100% unmitigated. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Boom.
I mean, the other one's a good target too, but technically we did dip into it just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll just make the new one.
We'll see. You got to actually change where that's drawn, because it's
fine, Max.
There you go.
We dipped in just a little bit.
Just dip the toe in.
Yeah.
Man, look at Bitcoin just chatting, man. Larry Fink said, no. Larry said, you want your pills, you're not going to get them.
Max, that was the discussion, and this is why I think like candlesticks are really strong indicators. That was the discussion that I threw up there when we just broke out of that low. and we formed that big, massive wick there. And I was like, look at the wick. And I remember talking about this on the show on the weekly. And I was like, look at the wick on the weekly. I was like, this is a reversal. It's not any type of run up and roll over. Like, this is a complete reversal. You would not have a weekly wick like that without some kind of reverse type move.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people faded that. They didn't understand like the strength that was being shown there at the low. Hammers, dozies are good indicators of reversals. Those are really good indicators, especially on higher time frames. Again, the decades, the 2 decades, the 3 decades, so on and so forth, the best indicators out there. But I'll settle for the weekly because crypto's so young.
Oh man, we're at 5. We're over 5,000. The melt up, man.
The FOMO is coming in now.
So this is when all of the sideline money managers that had their clients earning a passive 4 to 6% yield start to get those phone calls. They start to get those phone calls and say, "What are we doing, man? Why'd you sell my Nvidia at $250? What are you doing?" And then they go, "Oh wait, where can we still play catch up? Oh, what about those new Bitcoin ETFs? Those haven't pumped quite yet." Man,
there you go. Man. The FOMO kicks in. Remember, Max? We were having this discussion, and you saw my post on this where I said basically you're going to see liquidity flow and that frost start to flow over to crypto because people have to catch the hell up.
You did say that. You did say that, and by the way, Tucker, I love how you just to get rid of those gaps, you just went, nah, Heikanashi, get out of here.
No gaps, man.
I know you were thinking those gaps didn't look good.
No, they don't. not a gap war.
You know who's the most screwed? Not the sideliner freaking retail. It's the sideliner money managers. They're gonna lose their jobs. I'm not laughing at them losing their jobs, but they're just idiots.
Yeah,
they're gonna be on the street, man, if they're not in these. On the street. What's another one? BITF? No. What's another one? Not BITO.
BITB, is that it?
Bitwise. Yeah. Okay, so they all look the same. All right, let's check the gaps real quick. All right, go back to these.
Those are bullish gaps. Don't even worry about it.
I mean, we are leaving. It's going to be funny. We are like, this is a bullish gap. We didn't even try to touch it.
Here's the thing, man. There's plenty of examples in legacy land where gaps haven't gotten filled. I'm not saying that these won't ever. I'm just saying there's been plenty of times when they haven't.
I would argue they're not going to get filled. And I'll give you an example. If you go back to the beginning of SPY, near its inception, it has very similar gaps towards the beginning. I know it's a long time ago.
No, I know what you're talking about, Will. It is true.
But the point I'm trying to use here
is that... What are you talking about, like, back here? Oh, wait, no, we got to go deep.
When assets are brand new, they don't have to fill anything.
What are you talking about, like SPY or SPX?
SPX. But when assets are brand new, they don't have to fill anything. They essentially can just do this weird thing where they're up only for an extended period of time, and then they start filling gaps and so on.
That's on the monthly, Tucker. You'd have to go way back on like the daily. Honestly, I've done it before. I've seen some. But
there's some pretty massive ones.
I think monthly gaps will have to fill, but like daily ones and stuff.
Yeah, you got some lower there too.
And here's the thing too, is I actually could see those gaps getting filled, but I think it's going to be like those gaps might mark the next bear market bottom or something like that.
Look at this.
Like I don't think they're going to get filled right now. Yeah,
that's what I'm pointing out.
Yeah.
It's just because it's a new asset. Like gaps don't have to get filled on new assets. Now, as they start to mature, gaps have to start getting filled at that point. Because inefficiencies start to play into more mature asset classes.
All right. Yeah. Enough of the S&P, man. Enough of the S&P. That's not what we're here for.
Should we look at high yielding corporate debt as well?
Junk bonds, yes, of course. HYG.
That chart looks insane, man. Oh, look at that deviation, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I mean, your trend is like the deviation for sure, but your trend is still a ways away, and so these people are completely sidelined, thinking that this thing comes back to trend. Like they don't understand this is going to be a round top move, just like the last one. It's going to slowly grind across the high, roll back into trend at a much higher valuation than what people are thinking, and then bounce and run.
So, guys, I do have to get this out of the way right now. You guys are actually doing really well. We haven't even asked you yet. We're already at 45 likes. I mean, seriously, greatly appreciate you guys. But if you haven't liked the stream yet, please just take one quick moment and hit that thumbs up button for us, either on YouTube or on X, because we're now there as well. We got about 100 people watching on YouTube. We got 37 or 40. It's kind of bouncing around on Twitter. If you guys can help, all you got to do is just hit that like button. Maybe if you're on Twitter, a retweet would be awesome as well. I feel like it's a pretty fair ask. You know, we come on here, hour and a half long alpha dump. We talk charts, price, narratives, and all we ask is that you guys just hit that thumbs up button for us and support us by helping push our content. So thank you guys so much again for being here. We greatly appreciate it. So hit that thumbs up button for us. Help us grow the channel. We just sliced through 3,500 subscribers on YouTube like a hot knife through butter. Absolutely just destroyed the resistance at 3,500, guys. Clean breakout above range high. So help us hit 4K, guys. If you guys could please just hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new here, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We're live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time. Please consider subscribing to the channel as well, or following us on Twitter if that's where you're watching, so that you can be notified and made aware of when we go live. Again, that's Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time. Again, thanks so much for being here, guys. It's fantastic. What a week, right? What a week. Bitcoin is ripping up. It's already Friday. I can't believe it. But anyways, thanks, guys. Please consider liking and also subscribing. Tucker, what you got?
I had a really good comment real quick before we lead into this.
Yeah.
On Twitter, this person says, "I hope we don't jinx it, but deja vu. When we were at 25K and bears calling for 20K, miners were exploding, and 11 ETFs accumulating, and retail thinks they're smarter." And I would arguably agree with that. I think this has been the continuum trend for people to think, you know, that these cheat on the doors don't hold, and they actually do.
I'm not really worried about like jinxing it, right? Like there's just some very clear technical risk on signals that I'm monitoring right now. And context up here is actually much different. And in my view, much clearer than where we were at between 25 and 30K. I don't really feel as though this is decision time anymore. We're in a very strong high time frame uptrend. A lot of the momentum indicators that I watch are flashing risk on. S&P 500. We don't need the S&P 500 blasting through all-time highs every day in order for crypto to do well. I think the markets can trade independently, but I think it's one less thing to worry about. You know, it's like we don't have to go, oh, well, equities are, you know, deep red again today. Hopefully crypto doesn't catch the contagion. It's one less thing to think about. But I think we're past the point of like, oh, don't jinx it. It's like there's clear risk on signals. Like you had your dump before the halving. The halving is in 65 days. We have, you know, constant, you know, daily inflows to these Bitcoin spot ETFs every morning at the New York session open. This rally is not driven by perps. It's being driven by a Binance spot bidder, according to Tommy, as of this point. Maybe things have changed. So it is an arguably healthy uptrend. You know, we're not seeing excess froth, anything that would be out of the ordinary, or in my opinion, really spooky. I don't think funding is that crazy yet. But again, people kind of forget like bull market funding. Things can heat up really quickly. And some of those risk off signals that you've seen in the bear market where things get a little bit like expensive to long, or people longing into highs, that in a bear market, that shit doesn't work. In a bull market, you can kind of get away with being a little bit greedy at the highs. So I think that's what we're seeing. I think we're starting to see that. We're seeing that shift. And I think people are starting to wake up to it, that this game of catch up is going to happen here.
Yeah.
Dude.
Go ahead, Will.
You go, Tucker.
No, you're
good. I was just gonna say, you know, like people have to understand how this stuff works. Like risk on, like, look, I can't say it every day. Look at Nvidia. Look at look at these Chads. Look at Meta. Look at
Will, you love
Google.
Nvidia, man.
Look at Apple. Like, God, come on. Like, you can look at these. They're literal Ponzi's that just run in a straight line up. And you're telling me froth is not going to come back into crypto? Like, it's mind boggling to me when people sit there and say that this is where crypto tops. Like, I saw it from a couple, major accounts that I follow, and I'm just like, brother, like, look, I'll help you. I'll be your counselor if you want. But this thing's going to continue in the direction it's heading. If you need me to show you the light, I'll show you the light. It's not difficult, right? Like, greed, begets greed, and it continues the cycle until the implosion. The implosion's not here yet. It's not near. And that's what people don't get. Again, we talked about it, and you said it, and I said it, Max, is until we're above all-time high, there's no risk. There's no risk in crypto until Bitcoin's above all-time high. Speculation is the definition of risk. When you start getting into speculative territories, now you are starting to risk. When you are below speculation, you are in value range, regardless of where price is. And that's what a lot of people are not willing to accept.
Let's have some fun today, guys. We know what happens when Bitcoin has a move like this and then starts to move sideways. Altcoins go crazy after. I think it would be fun to prospect which altcoins are going to go the most crazy, assuming Bitcoin will have a strong daily and weekly close somewhere up here. What do you guys like for alts?
Dime.
Bitcoin leading, Sol's going to lead, man.
What do you think Sol does, Tommy?
I mean, I guess it depends on what Bitcoin does, right? I mean, if Bitcoin only makes a higher high into the 50s, I would assume Sol probably goes to like 160. If Bitcoin really blows off and does something crazy, then you probably see Sol double or triple.
Yeah.
Double or triple, brother. Double or triple, eh?
I don't know if it'll go that much right now, but AVAX came into an interesting area. That was one I was watching, and that one came into a really interesting area. It did a very similar move to Bitcoin, and caught its high here. I basically had its support sitting around a little bit higher than where we landed, around 33. We came up, used it as support, and we're bouncing off of it. Honestly, I think AVAX can make a decent move up, and AVAX is positioned very much like Sol.
Oh,
Almost
dude,
the same as
look at
that chart
this,
pattern.
man. Look at this. Are you serious? I mean, this is just textbook. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Continuation pattern.
That is textbook, man.
That's clean, yeah. And Tucker, I'm gonna put up my fractal that I got on Sol right here, man.
Do it.
I'm gonna Tommy the screen from you.
That's okay. It's okay.
Hey, Max,
yeah, I mean, this is pretty clean right here, guys. I mean, this is, what are we even talking about here? I'm looking at this chart and I'm saying, all right, like, this was the level to reclaim right here. I mean, we could even extend this over here. Maybe we bring it up. Like, this is your region right here. This was your bull market range low, guys. When we entered the real crazy bull market and Sol exploded last cycle, this is your bull market range low. All right. It's very clear, and then we bottomed here, and then ultimately distributed and nuked. But since we've had this reclaim, right, you have to assume that we have, more or less accepted back above this very, very clear level, the most important level on the chart for Sol, in my humble opinion. All right. And I've got this fractal that I actually took from down here. There were some, kind of high time frame momentum oscillators that reset a little bit. And I think contextually it's somewhat similar. I mean, different because obviously prices were much lower, but in terms of like a reaccumulation, I think context was somewhat similar. I'm kind of looking for something like this, honestly. I'm expecting like a new high to be set, big shakeout, sometime next month, and then just forget about it. Just absolutely forget about it. And I think what I would like to see, truthfully, is this level right here stay protected. So like let's have a clean break above above this level, and you've kind of got like we'll call it a inverse head and shoulders, something like that, whatever you want to call it. Let's break out wherever it goes, retest, and then just send this thing. Just absolutely send this thing. And I think there's some decent confluence for a play like this to happen, because the Sol BTC chart, in my opinion, looks pretty solid as well. Like I think we're just kind of bull flagging here, but this, in my opinion, is one of the cleaner charts in crypto, and it should be a real risk on signal. This level is really important. This is a really, really strong monthly pivot right here, where you clearly lost this block, and then you came back, retested it, and then just capitulated, and now we're back above it again. So I'm looking at this as a clear range, mainly because we also had recently just such a clean rejection from it. This is clearly a range that's in play. So I wouldn't want to see the Sol BTC valuation really much lower than this green arrow. But I think as of right now, and Tucker, maybe you'd agree, I know you spend a lot of time looking at Sol, this is sort of your accumulation area. If this wasn't, not saying you're even interested in pair trading, you or anybody else, Tucker, but it's like if this was just a chart, if this was altcoin USD, USDT, whatever it is, you'd probably look at this and go, all right, if this is going to be bullish, this is kind of your play right here. Like we would want to see, we'd want to see a move up to this range high. You'd want to see this level hold. Ultimately, you'd want to, maybe see a little bit more ranging here, and then flip this mid range, and then ultimately move up here with, confirmed deviation or something like that. So this is basically what I'm looking for with Sol BTC. So I think Bitcoin has a chance to go mid to upper 50s, even low 60s. And if that happens and the Sol BTC chart goes crazy, then it's like, what are we talking about here? If I have Sol BTC potentially going to 0.005, what's 61,000 times 0.005? I don't know off the top of my head, but I mean, that's kind of what I would expect for Sol. And it won't be perfect, right? Like they'll distribute a little bit, but 61,000 times 0.005, $300 Sol. And I honestly think if Bitcoin goes to 61K, you would see Sol probably pushing all-time highs. So
I'm with you.
Just real quick, 2 seconds. Sol did fill this. I'll give it back. But
you can keep it.
Weekly FVG, man, like filled it to the midline pretty perfectly. So that's like, I mean, this is the pair trade I would probably set up. It's just like if you come below, I mean, you want to see this thing left, right? Like you want to see this stay unfilled the rest of this. So that would kind of be my invalidation on Sol BTC. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks fantastic.
If that was just a USDT chart, like any altcoin, that's a fucking long, man, all day long.
Yeah.
Tucker,
the crazy part is that Bitcoin's chatting, and this is a Bitcoin pair.
Yeah, this is reaccumulation.
Yeah. We need to talk about the real monster in the room. Pull up Sui, bro. Pull up Sui. Yes.
Sui's ripping.
I saw
ripping,
Tommy's
man.
licking his lips. He's ready. Tommy's ready to go. Tommy's triggered. He's ready to go.
I could see you like right here, low key, on Sol BTC.
Actually, can you put it in log, Tucker? I want to show you where I think we are in that chart. I think I have a different perspective. I think we're at that first right there. I think we're down to the left right there. I think that's where we are, because the previous one that you're pointing to happened at a new all-time high. That was price discovery. We're not in price discovery yet. So I think we're just making a quick pit stop. Then we go above the all-time high and reaccumulate at new all-time highs for the Sol BTC pair, just like the one that you have highlighted with the green.
Yeah, but Sol was like a year old at this point. Yeah, I think contextually, because it's had a cycle already now. Like, just if you just look at like price action, right? Like, I don't know where this would have been, but like this feels like it took a lot longer.
I'm not gonna lie, Tucker, that what you got pointed out there, the pattern, it looks really good. Like you've even got the hump there, just like on the previous one. Like go down a little bit. No, down to
This?
the one. Yeah, that looks like the middle. Now go to the other one and go just below where we are, right there. Yep, that looks like that, and then the other one looks like the other one. It's just a little it's a little bit different, but it's very similar, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So
and
this.
I get what you're saying, Max, but I think like the liquidity, like we always have to remember, like your exponentials are decreased, so this could make sense because of how much liquidity is already in Sol.
Yeah. So wait, let's fractal it though. So like, I'm gonna.
You still got a lot of run there. There's still a lot of runway.
Let's just.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where we are, whether we're what green box we're at in this scenario. I just think that if we're talking about context, a reaccumulation period above the previous all-time high, in my opinion, makes more sense than this being like the big reaccumulation. I think that the real mania begins once you get above all-time high. We'll pause. Bitcoin will move first again. Sol BTC will reaccumulate, and then you go crazy. I don't think this is like your bull market reaccumulation. I think that's going to happen later.
Let's entertain something that would kind of line up with this, and let's entertain Bitcoin tops at 100, 110. I would arguably say that's about where Sol would top, if that were the case.
Sol like what'd you say?
No, not 110. I mean like where he's showing, where the fractal is going, right?
Oh.
Like this would be indicative of where we are if Bitcoin were to top at 110. In my opinion, if you got above that, you could definitely push these markets higher.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm happy to be wrong. Like either way, it looks good, but
yeah, there's still a lot of runway there. That's like there's nothing bearish about the runway.
I just think that the real reaccumulation before like mania phase happens above all-time high on this Bitcoin pair, not basically chopping into previous range high supply.
Well, this is Sol Bitcoin. It's a little bit different. I almost feel like Sol's going to be like ETH and almost perform at the same level as Bitcoin at this point. Like,
I mean, a good way to approach this would be to look at ETH BTC, I guess, in its early cycle, and I guess see what happened. I mean, if we're saying that Sol is like the ETH of this cycle, could probably look at, God, that chart looks disgusting.
I mean, ETH didn't do a lot, Max. Like in 2021, from 2020, would it go from
ETH is a great stable coin, though, man. ETH is a great coin to just accept that it's going to go sideways for a while, borrow everything you can against it, and buy other altcoins. It's that simple. Okay, Tucker, look to the left there, brother. Look.
Okay, so we're saying
no. Left. Early like 2017, that bear market range low, right there. Okay, I think so. The reaccumulation above the all-time high. See that? Just to the right. No. So like early, yeah, right there. So we made a new all-time high, reaccumulated, and then the mania happened.
But so this was ETH's first cycle, right? This Sol already had a cycle. Like the argument would be that Sol is in here, or something, right? Like that, right?
Yeah, and then the next cycle, Sol way outperforms, like I think ETH's going to do here against Bitcoin.
Like ETH has had 2 cycles, Sol has had 1. Like Sol did this already, and you're probably like here or somewhere. Maybe you're even like right here or something. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to look the same as Sol BTC, but
I still think Sol will outperform in the end. But like I think Sol's going to be very close to that top. Sol BTC.
What do we think about the possibility that the ETH Bitcoin bottom is not in after the move that we've had on Bitcoin today?
That would be bad, Tommy. That would be bad.
I think you're probably correct. I actually think we're probably in like early 2019, and we're about to have the next leg down at this point.
Max,
I feel like
what's that?
Nothing.
I feel like
I can't hear what you said, Tucker. What did you say?
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, nothing.
He said nothing. He said nothing. He's basically saying ETH Bitcoin's going to bottom there at the low. But anyway,
you just became the ETH Fedor today.
He didn't want to say it out
I
loud.
have
I'll say it
exposure
for
to
him.
ETH. It's just like, I mean, look at the chart, man. Look at. I actually think contextually where we could be is if you just look at early 2019, Tucker, we had a really powerful fake bottom to the right, a little bit to the right. That big blue candle before the drop.
What, this? You think like...
So see that right there. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. We probably have a deviation, like a capitulation event. And then I bet ETH, takes a while to recover. And then you're probably right, Tucker, that December of next year is when it really recovers. But I bet we put in a deviation. Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably what's going to happen at this point. And that doesn't mean that ETH USD has to bleed, by the way. ETH USD could go up. It could just get destroyed by Bitcoin. Bitcoin could go to 100K and ETH could be at like 3,500. All right. And that's the truth.
We need to discuss the propaganda. And the propaganda's name is SUI. We're not talking about it enough. All right. Yeah. We're not talking about it enough. I believe it was called at like 42 cents in the Discord. Can we get a look at SUI, Tucker?
Yeah. Hang on though. This is just wild.
Yeah, SUI looks like it's about to go vertical, man.
Bro, SUI's gonna blow the hell up.
Okay, yeah, we'll look at SUI, but like, look, so this is this, and we had to come fill in,
the inefficiencies. Yeah, I mean, this is,
that would imply like that, and that would be this move.
It probably goes to 0.04 or 0.039. And I'm not bearish ETH USD. I just am more bullish Bitcoin. I mean, this chart just cannot get it. It cannot find its bearings. And it's had a lot of opportunities. And again, I think you'll see ETH kind of get dragged up kicking and screaming by Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to continue to chad. You'll see ETH stubbornly, probably go to 3K. But this pair is going to be, it's going to be hard to stomach.
Yeah, this is going to happen. This is actually definitely going to happen.
Yep.
Wow. That's wild.
But look what happens after, right? Like you kind of have to brace for impact a little bit on this pair. Again, I'll just reiterate this, guys. If this pair nukes, it doesn't mean that ETH USD has to nuke. ETH USD can still go up while this happens. We could have a $3,000 ETH and this chart will do exactly what Tucker's drawing, capitulate down to that level, and then go crazy next year. Okay. If Bitcoin goes to
it's always the post-halving year, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's probably what happens right there. And then it goes crazy, right? So it's like, even if you're buying ETH here over Bitcoin and you've got a 2-year outlook on it, you're fine. In my opinion, you're fine.
Yeah, it would say like bottom in, I'm just going to pull the whole thing, bottom in like May, and then just grind up. We got to pull it out just a little bit to make it. Yeah, January, bang. See you later. Right there. That's it.
We'll see. Maybe ETH can pull a miracle, but there's just a lot of new altcoins that are catching the liquidity rotations right now, like SUI and Say and Dimension. And I mean, there's so much competition now.
There's just not any fundamental thesis that you can get from ETH that you can't get from any other coin right now. That's the bottom line.
I have one, Tommy. And it's
lose money on gas.
It's such a left curve, obvious one. You're going to go, well, yeah, I guess technically. It's the spot ETF. That's all that there is.
But Bitcoin has that,
Right.
And if Bitcoin's outperforming it, then
yeah, that's true.
Bet on the win.
But spot ETF now is like fresh chart almost on an old coin. I would say this too. And somebody said in the chat, Bitcoin, Rex, ETH. I've been saying it for months. Bitcoin and ETH have moved the same percentages. We talked about this in the past. Like if you take a low to high, they're basically equal. They haven't, like, neither has outpaced the other. They're on the same wave. But I will say this though. If you look at like these new Ponzi's that they're coming up with, the 404s and so on and so forth, those have drawn in a lot of liquidity, and those could continue to draw in liquidity. But in addition to that, I think like people again, they're just fading the easiest plays. Like I think if you look at these chains, we can ignore it. We can ignore it all we want, but
Oh,
like
wait,
Sui and
yeah.
Aptos and all these are up and coming like
Man.
monsters. Like, and people are just completely ignoring them for
I mean,
absolutely
you
no
can't
reason.
expect. I mean, look, if you want to, in my opinion, the easiest 2x in the world over the next 2 years, you buy spot ETH. But most people are dabbling with these new crypto projects, and they're okay with the volatility because they could potentially 50 or 100x, and that's the difference. So there's a certain opportunity cost to holding Ethereum, and I think people recognize that. Why would they not buy Say, or why would they not buy Sui, or why would they not dabble with Dimension, or when Eigenlayer comes out, and Monad, and Nillion, and there's all these new projects that people would rather throw money at than ETH, and that's what we're seeing right now, and ETH will have its day. I'm telling you, there's going to be a day when ETH is up 15% and Bitcoin's up 1% and Sol is up 2%, and everything's just going to sit there and watch. But you don't know when that day is going to come. It could be a year from now. You know what I mean? You just don't know. But that day's coming eventually.
Yeah, I mean, Eigen's going to be an it's going to basically bring up ETH. That's what Eigenlayer is all built around. The airdrops are built around like fractionalized Ethereum staking. Wink, wink. Look into you can figure out what I'm talking about. And so on and so forth. So that would actually be more bullish for ETH once Eigen kind of hits and these other ones kind of play out for airdrops. But yeah, I would say like the biggest thing right now is like Sui and Sui ecosystem. It's not a fade. Like Sui is showing the most strength right now out of everything for upside, and I feel like just a lot of people are ignoring it for absolutely no reason.
Will, why do you like Sui so much over Say?
It's a meta play. It's literally the team of Sui is the team that was deving for Facebook to create their token and then broke off and did their own thing. That is
Remember
a
when
meta
Facebook
play.
was going to have a token? What was it called?
Man, Leon. What was it? It was Leo.
Well,
was it Leo?
yeah, it was Leo.
We have a Leo token already.
No, it's
No,
not
it was
Leo.
Leo.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Leo. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Leo. But the point being is that
Libra.
like,
that was it in the
or
chat.
Libra, yeah, Libra. There
Libra.
you go. Yeah, it's
Libra.
Libra. Yeah.
We were close. We were in the neighborhood.
I was
But
close.
I was agreeing. But at the end of the day, the point is that the devs for like I would not fade any devs from Google. I would not fade any devs from Facebook or Meta. I would not fade any devs from Nvidia. Like these are just
What
those
about
guys are
Apple,
like
Will?
top tier.
What about
Apple only
Apple
only if
devs?
they made the Apple Vision Pros, then I would fade them. But outside of that, no,
William.
I'm sure the software is good. It just looks like space goggles. But outside of that, I think like fading any of these Big Ten and their devs is ultimately like to your own detriment. These are legitimate devs that know what they're doing, have experience, have worked at big companies, know how they operate, and can come in and really change the space and the space's landscape, as opposed to these guys that were in their mom's basement or garage creating code and then saying this is going to change the future of finance, and then it starts with an E, and then it blows up into billions and millions of dollars, and a lot of people trapped in it with fractionalized staking.
ETH.
We're not allowed to say those words out loud.
Suggest no more comments like that for the sake of the industry.
Suggest.
ETH is
Now I don't know if that helps give context to my thoughts, but and it's not just Sui. There's two projects. Both of them are ex Meta teams, and one's Sui and the other one's Aptos. Aptos has yet to really run, but both of these are by legitimate devs, and they're doing some really cool things in the space.
I'm actually pretty bullish on Say, man. I've got an interesting fractal that I've been tracking for a little bit.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. I mean, actually, Tucker, let me just Yeah, I'm gonna just take it. I'm gonna reconstruct this quick. And by the way, I'm actually bullish ETH. It's just like the ETH BTC pair is abysmal right now. Just to be clear, like I don't think the setup looks bad at all.
Where did Jackus get that safe fractal, man?
Sol.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
It was early days of Sol.
Oh man. Like how early are we talking about?
Like launch, like very, very. You have to put it.
Oh,
in
is
log.
he just talking about this?
Yeah.
That's real.
No. He actually wasn't. Can you put it in? Actually, yeah. That was it. That was it.
It was
yeah,
this for sure.
It was that right there.
Yeah.
But I said I don't think that that's going to happen because we didn't have that deviation above the high, so I don't think we need to go quite as low.
Let's see the propaganda real quick, man.
So Bryant says, what about the dev from Robinhood that's building on Say? I mean, sure, there's probably a dev building on Say. I'm not saying building on. I'm saying like the Sui team is ex Meta team. So the people that created Sui and are creating a runway for Sui are ex Meta. They're not building on the chain.
And Will, I mean, you're not bearish. Say you're just excited about Sui. Like it's not like
I'm excited because of the team. Yeah. I'm not bearish. Say.
Like they're both good, like good, promising projects. I think we probably all agree that they both can probably compete and pressure the top 10 at the end of this cycle or top 20. But yeah, I mean, I don't own any Sui. I just have Say. Seems a little bit more clear to me. But
yeah, I don't like this. I don't like
the
it.
Bryant says that
I've got some fractals for you, man.
Yeah,
if you want to see,
you got it. You got it.
I got some fractals. This is ETH right here. Ignore this. All right, let's take a look at Say. So I was actually comparing this sell-off to, I don't know why it always pulls this up by default. Someone's going to have to help me get that setting off. Whenever I pull up a second chart, it pulls up like this old stable coin comparison. Like it just, did you see what it looked like? It just had like all these stable coins. It's so annoying.
What's the market cap of Say right now?
It's lower than Sui.
Is it? Oh, then
by like
that's
30 or
40%.
I think. Tucker and I were looking at it on Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, I'm even more bullish then.
You mean FDV or circulating, Will?
FDV.
Let's just get
they're comparable, I think.
FDV is 6.8 bill. Sui's is like 15 though, I'm pretty sure, dude.
Yeah.
Sui's FDV is 17 billion already. That's high. Yeah, but they're about the same circulating. They're pretty much identical circulating. Say is 1.6 circulating, and Sui's 1.9 or 2.
Say seems more clear to me, but again, I think they're both promising.
They should both be relatively in the same camp if they're that close in market cap.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either. That's the thing, is like it's probably best to not even like overcomplicate it. Have exposure to both or even one, and you're going to get comparable returns. I don't think it's going to be like one does crazy outperformance against the other. But I'm looking for something like this. I've been watching this on Say. Basically, I need to make these time frames the same. This is 12-hour. Actually, let's drop this one down. We'll go 6. I'm looking for something like this, guys. So Say is on the left right here. Sol is on the right. I was basically looking for this to turn into a failed breakdown, just like Solana did earlier this year. And I felt like there was just a lot of people shorting into this low or capitulating or saying it's over, just like they did with Sol. And I said this to our Discord. We had a long call about this in the Discord. I said, I want this low to hold. This range should hold. And I think we're going to slowly grind back up and just go crazy after a failed breakdown. And this to me is looking like a failed breakdown turned into a double bottom, just like Solana did back in November, December of 2023. And I think this starts the next leg up where Say probably pulls a 2x, especially given how Total 2 looks. Total 2 goes crazy. Altcoins go crazy. Solana probably holds strong and say, in my opinion, this was a failed breakdown. It had the opportunity to really break down like this one right here. So breakdown, retest, this should have been your breakdown right here. This should have been your continuation. Failed breakdown, double bottom. I think you go a lot higher now. I think you go a lot higher. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. I think that Say is getting ready for the next move, guys. I really do. Oh, man.
Those look very similar.
I like it now. Now that we talked about it, like I didn't know that that it was that low. I haven't really looked into it that much because I'm in so much stuff, but I'll definitely look into it now.
Check it out, Will. It's got the same like investor base, to my knowledge, that Solana did last cycle. You can ape shit coins on Say, and they're gonna run the same playbook as Sol last cycle.
Well, I've already been resident meme coins of both Say and Sui, so
Tommy's covered. Yeah, we're looking for this, guys. We're looking for this to play. Failed breakdown, double bottom, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Let's see if we could do let's see if we got a little fib extension. Let's see here. Let's add some fibs on here, man. Let's see. 3.618. 4.618. Nah, we're not going to get it. We are not going to get it. But percentage-wise, happy to play this game. From that low to the Sol high, 145%. Say, I guess if it just does what Sol did, I would expect outperformance, right? I mean, you would think.
That's it, though.
I mean, 145%, buck 30.
2.5x.
But see, I mean, you have to anticipate.
Top.
What's that?
Wait, no, that wasn't the cycle top, though.
On what?
On Sol. Okay, so
this is Sol in December, brother.
Yeah. So okay, I got you.
I mean, I would expect at this point, like, I mean, probably Say to go to like a couple bucks. Like if we can really rally here and total 2 starts moving, like, like let's go. Let's start the next leg.
It's happening, guys.
Who would look at that hold? Who could have foreseen?
Who could have foreseen the swing fail at the golden pocket, man? Who could have foreseen?
They all want lower. They will cope.
This, if it holds, invalidates all those Manta and XAI and alt layer fractals for sure.
Well, Tucker, I don't know if you remember with alt layer, it pulled back and then it swept the wick and then created a second high.
I mean, alt layer double topped, right? So, like, I mean,
So
wouldn't you say we've already put this in, though?
Yeah, that's what
We
I'm saying.
didn't sweep that high, though. It is different.
I mean, yeah, but like you would say we did this, right?
I mean, it kind of needs to hold here for it to be able to
exactly,
create a deviant high. But if it does, I think that it probably will.
I mean, the structure is similar. It's not exactly the same, but like if it doesn't hold, then like you're like right before this candle or you're in that candle. So
I mean, you might be in that candle already, Tucker, because you're below that like range low right there. See that low?
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why I was saying it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Either way, I think like 620 to 650 is probably as good as you're going to get, unless things just nuke, which I don't anticipate.
Where did I draw this from? I'm going to change this, actually. Hang on. We're going to match this up.
And guys, while Tucker's doing this, if you haven't liked the stream yet, guys, please just take one quick moment. We got 112 on YouTube. We got 30 on Twitter. We got 140 people total watching, guys. If you are enjoying the content, please just take one quick moment and hit that thumbs up or that like button, guys. It really does wonders for us. We just smashed through 3,500 subscribers on YouTube, and we're growing so quickly because you guys show up every single day and support us by liking and sharing our content. So please, if you haven't liked it yet and you are enjoying the content, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up button for us, guys. That's all we ask. Very, very fair exchange of services. We come on here, do a free show 5 days a week, and all we ask or request is that you guys hit that thumbs up button for us so that more people can see our content. And guys, thanks so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. Let's get those likes at least 1 to 1. We got 110 on YouTube, 84 likes. Come on, guys. I know there's some people out there that are enjoying this content that haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, guys. And you guys on Twitter, you're not safe either. I expect that heart button to be hit on Twitter, guys. You're not safe.
I mean, that's what you would. If you lose the golden pocket, that's what you would get. Right. But I'd say you probably just go here, honestly. Yeah. I don't think you get below. I don't think you get below 620-ish.
So we actually did get a super chat from Remy. Remy says, thoughts on when on daily potentially carving out a bottom. Was that was the Solana airdrop, right? The cat one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anybody have any thoughts on when? Oh man.
I don't know.
Man, that is
I mean, for a shitcoin, that does look like a bottom. I'm not gonna lie.
Will loves these charts, boys. Loves them.
Will, is that dumpster diving enough for you? This chart?
Oh, that's the literal bottom of the dumpster. Yeah, that's you can't get
the
much
bubble
deeper
gum.
than that.
That's the bubble gum with hair stuck in it on the bottom of the garbage can.
Yep, 5 homeless people have chewed it. All the flavor's gone. Yeah. All thing that's left is
up
flavor.
17% today.
Whiff is?
What is?
Bonk.
Oh. Dude, that's probably just because Sisu is buying.
Not trapping me, bro. Not trapping me.
Yeah, not trapping me.
No way.
Was it biggest
It'll probably go up from here, but it's not trapping me.
Biggest bull trap I've ever seen, but they won't trap me.
I would just, for when, man, I don't know if it'll pump like right away. And if it does, I mean, I don't know. There just might be a tension on other stuff. But, you know, if I were looking to accumulate when, I would want to see it do the bonk pattern, form that really long base, and then just gig ascend, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to see some shitcoins though. A couple of them starting to pop off what looked like inevitable, empty abyss pit of a bottom that never ended. Now they're starting to see pop-ups off of those.
The perma bleeders.
Bro, there were so many sellers on these shitcoins. They were getting wrecked. But you're gonna a couple of them starting to pop out the lows now. Like, this is what happens though. If you round trip a shitcoin bag, you're gonna be in some real pain. Some real pain.
Oh yeah.
Here's the issue.
Then you got to DCA down.
We talked about this on this show. I think maybe Tommy or Tucker found it. I don't remember, but we talked about this before. This just feels like it's gonna happen. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, the Bitcoin 2018. Yeah.
One of you called this out, and I haven't been able to shake the fractal from my
probably
head.
Tommy, honestly.
I mean,
it could be just repeating Pepe price action after the Binance listing. I could see that too.
Possible.
Here's the thing with these shitcoins, Tommy, and maybe you'll agree on this, maybe you won't, because I think you have a pretty good amount of experience with them. I think there's a lot of trapped whales that are going to pump liquidity so they can get the hell out.
Yeah.
Right. And in that scenario, I think there's a good scenario that some of these floored ones, even though they technically are dead, will start to revive before they end up exit liquidating everybody.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, a lot of these, it's hard to even call them cartel coins, right? Because there are so many entities that kind of fit that description that you just described, Will, that probably want to pump their way out of illiquid trash just as much as they want to make money on some of their runners, right? I mean, think about how many VCs are in, you know, bad seed rounds from maybe 2017 or 2021 on old coins that are still dead on those charts. So yeah, I mean, that's usually why you see those coins pop off. But I will say, you know, when DWF has a pretty interesting way of carteling these coins, and it's, you know, whenever it has been pumped before, they take out these hedges and they just leave them on for a really long period of time, and then they wait for an algo to get out of position as their counterparty on these shit coins.
Exactly.
And say you're shorting like this really obscure shit coin as a hedge, or for whatever reason that you might be doing, and you overcommit to the short side. Well, DWF all of a sudden is gonna they're gonna start closing their shorts, and they're gonna put the pressure on you much faster than you probably anticipated. And that's how you get stuff like the TRB pump and all the cartel coins that we had going off in the summer.
What do you guys think about this?
Squeeze spot, and you you close your shorts.
I would say my main counter to this chart is the time aspect of it, where Pepe's been accumulating here for, I mean, what, like damn near a year at this point, 9 months, 10 months. This bonk one, I think, if anything, might be like Pepe in July, or Pepe in like August, you know, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so I think see you being right here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really right there.
So I just think that, I mean, who knows, right? Like if we're in a new bull market, it might not have to accumulate as much, but.
You know what I like, Max? Everybody's given up on the Pepe trade. I love those trades. Those are the
Pepe's
best
about
ones
to get
to just buy and sit.
Pepe's about to get listed on Coinbase, man.
Like people don't understand. Like when nobody's looking, you need to look back and see where price is, and see if there's
I've got a fat bag of Pepe in cold storage, man. Like it's literally there. It's unjeetable. It's in a hardware wallet. You know, I've got conviction in this play. And the most bullish catalyst ever is a hostile sub community capitulating their bags to buy a Ponzi by a maniac, literally at high time frame support. That's like the most bullish catalyst of all time. And not to be the guy that perpetuates these, you know, rumors, but Coinbase also just changed the logo of Pepe, and they changed the color of the chart on Pepe. So what Coinbase does with all their new listings is, or anything that's available for trade, is what they do is they change the line chart on the preview to the color that fits the branding of the project. And Pepe's just changed from their default blue, which has like all the unlisted untradeable coins, to green. So they changed the logo and the line chart. And Pepe never had a chance to get listed on Coinbase because Pauly attacked them so aggressively. He tried to pressure them into listing Pepe instead of trying to play ball and work with them. And I remember that was one of my biggest frustrations early on when we were riding the Pepe train was, man, he's this guy who's got so much reach and is so loud, is just attacking Brian Armstrong, trying to like bully him into listing this project. And now that he's officially gone, I feel like, hey, we're starting to see like things change on Coinbase. They're actually like, they're randomly, I mean, what are the odds, right? Do you believe in coincidence? They changed the logo, and they also changed the preview of Pepe randomly. And Pauly capitulates with his little weird sub community, you know, after dumping the 33% of the supply on the market. Dude, look at the pork chart. Literally, it's capitulating.
It just boggles my mind that people will like follow Pauly of all people into battle, you know, and you know, to the point where they'll back him with the funds. I don't understand it, man.
They think that he's gonna bully his way to like the top and take them with. But in reality, he's bullying his way to the top by manipulating, no offense, naive people, inexperienced people in this space to give him their money. He owned a third of this, you know, this pork supply. And you know, what do you think he's gonna do with it? You know, he controls it.
Well, what did he do with the third of Pepe that he held?
And the most frustrating part, I wasn't going to talk about this publicly. The most frustrating part about him turning on Pepe is because he's vindictive. He was turning on the KOLs that were involved in Pepe because they didn't give him a fair shake or something like that, or they didn't give him credit for, being the voice of Pepe, whatever his reasoning was. Okay. I don't know exactly what happened, but he's doing all of this, trying to, fork Pepe into his project Pork, which he owns a third of, because he wants revenge against the KOLs that did him wrong. But meanwhile, he's too oblivious to see that the people he's hurting and attacking are the people that initially followed him into Pepe on the first run up. It's not the guys that got, a free $10 million Pepe bag because they're KOLs. He's attacking the small guy.
Max,
He's
he
attacking the
made a
community.
bag.
He's attacking the community that owns $1,000 or $2,000 of Pepe. He's turning on the people he recruited in the first place, and he can't even see it.
Max,
It's really sad to see, honestly.
He made a bag on Pepe. He ain't got nothing. There should be no reason he should be complaining at all. He made a bag on Pepe.
Probably, yeah, probably.
And no, ain't no probably. Like he's exposed his wallet more than once, and the point being is like he manipulated all these people into getting into Pepe. I'm not saying like everybody's manipulated by him specifically, but then he exit liquidity'd all of them, dropped his bag, cheated, moved over, created a new chain, added liquidity to it, and then pulled them in for a second round.
Yeah,
Of the same treatment.
it was disgusting what just happened, man, honestly. But that's the most bullish thing that could have happened to Pepe, because good riddance, man. Like, he needed to be gone for good. You've got a lot of new credible people in the space now stepping up, being like, Pepe's not going to die. Like, we're not going to let this thing die. Like, it kind of, and Pepe, looking back, came at such a critical point in time. Like, the market was in shambles. Sentiment was at an all-time low, and Pepe kind of revitalized the space. So to get rid of a completely self-serving maniac, in my opinion, who's turning on his own community, he thinks he's turning on, like, I mean, it's literally people that, it's like they get mad at some, like, they get mad about let's just say a credit card company, charging them interest. So they call the 1-800 number, and they start bitching out the person, on the other end of the phone. You're attacking the wrong person. Like, you think by yelling at this person on the phone, you're somehow getting, like, revenge, against the people that are actually taking your money from you, in the form of interest payments. But you're just abusing the wrong person, And what's so unfortunate about the Pauly situation is, I don't know if he just doesn't care or doesn't realize it, but the people he's hurting are not who he thinks. He's hurting innocent community holders, that followed him into battle the first time. And it's disgusting, man. It's just completely disgusting. But anyways, everything wrong about the space, comes from that type of mindset. So anyways, I'm super bullish Pepe. I posted on Twitter, like, that day when Pepe was capitulating, because him and his team were basically pressuring the ask side of the books, just dumping Pepe and getting all of his, little cult followers into Pork or whatever the hell was going on. I said, my Pepe's in cold storage. There'll be no cheating or bailing on it, in my opinion. I see it clear as day. I couldn't be more bullish. And I actually called that low right there. And I think that that's going to be the cycle low. So,
well, here's the thing with him controlling that much of the supply, and a lot of people don't understand this part, is like when you hold, like, we'll say 20% plus, you can control the floor, aka you can manipulate people into thinking that price is going up, and you're selling into buy pressure and you're buying into sell pressure, and you're kind of now it's good in some ways. Some people would argue that that's a good thing. It basically allows you to move up. It is if you have I guess an ethical market maker, right? But if you have an unethical market maker, it's kind of bad. So it all depends on which side you're on, and I think he'll run this thing up. I think he's planning on Richard Harding the overall crypto community.
yeah, I want nothing.
Then,
I want nothing to do with anything that he's leading. It's all about betting on people in this space, and I don't care what his project does. I don't care how high he pumps it. Apparently, like, I literally, I don't care if I will not put money behind something like that ever. It's simply not going to happen, man. Not from the behavior that I've seen. So, it's just never going to happen. It's an out of sight, out of mind, like good riddance. Hope you do well. I hope you figure out whatever's going on in your mind, but I have no interest in it. I don't care what rewards he's offering, what he's doing, like no interest in it. I don't care what happens, and I don't wish any ill upon the people that are following him into it, and buying into it. I wish them well. It's just, it's not for me. Never going to be for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pepe looks pretty decent here, man, honestly. Look at this.
Looks really good.
I mean, it bounced off that perfectly. We, defended this inefficiency, which is this huge candle that got us off the bottom. I think you reclaim
about, bro.
You reclaim this, you reclaim this little area. I think you're just gonna fly. Like that is an easy setup right there.
Yeah.
Probably even higher.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It might take a little time though. We might have to do this a little bit and then go.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, what do you guys say? Should we wrap it up here?
Yeah, let's do it. Wait, let's just quick check in on Dem.
It's holding okay there.
Oh, it's holding real nice. Let's delete this propaganda.
Yeah, that looks all right. We'll see. I mean, man, if Bitcoin and ETH can keep, moving up here, and Sol, I guess, and like total too, it'll probably hold around here. But either way, I'm fully staked, so I'm not going anywhere.
Let's see if we can draw a line here, man. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe.
Are you in log or no?
No.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to call it here. Guys, thanks so much for being here. As always, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to like if you have not yet, and also subscribe if you are new to the channel. Again, we are live 5 days a week. It's an hour and a half long alpha dump. We talk charts, price, narrative, and just generally have a great time. So please consider subscribing. We're growing very quickly, and it's thanks to your guys' consistent support of what we are building here Because Bitcoin, and we greatly appreciate you guys tuning in on a daily basis. Lastly, check out the first link in the description below to becausebitcoin.com/premium. That will take you to our website where you can browse our premium products as well as read reviews. Right now, it's just a Discord, but I don't say it just a Discord as a bad thing because we have new products dropping. The Discord as a standalone product is absolutely fantastic. We do 2 hours a day of private live voice calls with the entire Because Bitcoin team and community. We share private analysis, active positions, premium, whatever, things we don't talk about here on YouTube and Twitter with the Discord community. And it's a very elevated experience. You will absolutely feel as though it is changing your trading and investing for the better as we, basically conduct these calls twice a day and share, constant updates on what we're all doing as individuals in these markets. So if you want to see behind the curtain on how all of us at Because Bitcoin are trading and elevate your game, definitely consider checking out the link below. It's the first link in the description below, becausebitcoin.com/premium. It's a fantastic experience. The price of it is going to go up dramatically right around the Bitcoin halving, which, by the way, is basically just 2 months away now. It's coming up very quickly. Right around the Bitcoin halving, we are launching our new flagship product called the BB Terminal. It's basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys. It's a fantastic product. We spent a lot of time, money, and resources developing it. We are very excited for you guys to try it out. That is going to be bundled with the Discord. Okay, when that day comes, prices are going to go up dramatically. If you sign up now, you will be grandfathered in forever as long as you don't cancel. So I have a hunch what's going to happen is the BB terminal is going to drop. You guys are going to be like, oh, I want the BB terminal. Wow, what would go really nicely with the BB terminal is the Discord membership. Oh man, it's so expensive. Max, how could you do this to us? You didn't tell me. And I'm going to go, no, I'm sorry. I did tell you every day for like 4 months what was going to happen, but you waited till the last minute. So let's avoid that. Sign up sooner rather than later, guys. It's a fantastic experience. At least go to the website and read the reviews. But let's kick it over to Tommy to say a final farewell.
All right, guys. Well, happy Friday. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Let's see if we can continue this pump on our coins, pump on Bitcoin. Definitely seems like the market is heating up here as we are heading into the middle of February, guys. But just echoing, of course, one last time what Max said. This is the best time to be getting into our Discord. Pretty much the entire team called the move off the low. Discord is probably overwhelmingly positioned long at this point. So they're eating good today. But yeah, that's all from us, guys. A reminder that we will have another episode of Market Check as we do every day on the weekdays, Monday through Friday. Typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Market Talk with the legendary King Wabi. That's our flagship show. It's a Twitter Spaces. We talk markets, crypto, equities, and everything in between. Have some really great dialogue on that show. And that start time is 4:15 to 4:30 Eastern time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. That Wednesday, we give a little bit of extra love to our Giga Chads. So yeah, I mean, just added value for you guys if you want to hop on board. But that's all from us, guys. We hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks again.